I am Queen Boss Lady, and this is my testimony. This is going to be part 5, and this is going to be the last video that I make today. But I'm just laying all these allegations to rest. There is nobody that can stand up for me like me. There is nobody to stand up for me. I am the one that's saving myself right now. So, where did we leave off? Yeah, she basically asked me after a long day of work, and I had 2 clients coming to get their lashes done. She basically had an episode again, basically asking me to prostitute her, and I said, hell no. So one day we went to go get something to eat. She was like, oh, I want some Popeyes. We go to Popeyes. I'm buying her something to eat. And it's like the very thing that I won't allow her to do is like she's picking at it. She's laughing at it. So I'm ordering the food, and I said I was going to give her $10 for something that she did for me or whatever. And so all of a sudden she like, ha 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 ha, look at her. Well, she over there prostituting. She over there selling her body. Ha ha ha. And she pointed out the lady, and I'm like I didn't even notice the lady. I didn't even see the lady. She done spotted, a prostitute from way across the street, and because she's not allowed to do it, just 2 days ago, she was asking me to do this very thing, and now she's picking and laughing and taunting at the lady because she's out there doing that. This is how my daughter of mine works. So I said, you know what? Instead of giving you that $10, I'm going to go give it to that prostitute since you want to laugh and pick at her and you don't know why she's out there, how she ended up out there. Like, you don't laugh at people's shortcoming. Like, you don't know what happened. So as soon as I got the food or whatever, I did. I drove right across the street, pulled up on the exact prostitute she was laughing at, and I was like, here, I want you to have this. And I gave her the money that I was going to give my daughter. And that made her so fucking pissed off. To the point where, she contacted my daughter. My daughter contacted the lady down the hall. My daughter ran away again. Did not know where she was. I went through the whole process over again, putting her pictures up, calling everybody, telling everybody, talking to the police, da 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 da. This time, she was gone for a whole 2 months, y'all. Until 2 of my neighbors that wasn't a part of this sex trafficking ring, they came banging on my door. I'm like, oh my God, they done found my daughter. So they tell me where my daughter is. I go knock on her door, and I'm like, so you have my daughter? So because I did not want to be your friend, you take my daughter? And she's like, oh, your daughter just came here a week ago. She has not been here this whole entire time. Blah, 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 blah. 911, what is your emergency? I have someone out here that has kidnapped my child, and she has been harboring a runaway, and I need the police to get here fast. So she's like, no, it's not like that. I didn't do that. Your daughter was with someone else. She wasn't with me. I didn't have her. Blah, 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 blah. I went out of town, and I don't have underage children in my home when I'm out of town, and blah, 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 blah. And I just couldn't believe my daughter. And I'm like, the only reason why this lady helped you is because she doesn't like me, because I wouldn't be her friend. And I knew she would be a problem. That's why I did not want to be her friend. I already seen that she didn't like me, and I'm not reliving that again where I'm friends with people that I know don't like me. I have outgrew that. That was a dumb era in my life, and I had to be around those people to learn them so that I can see in other people, you know, familiar spirits. So I already recognize that spirits from friends I left back in the past that was enemies. And I knew she was going to be a problem. And I was just saying, I was like, this is why I did not want to be your friend. Do you understand that it makes sense? Oh, y'all, she was buying my daughter this. Now, mind you, my daughter was making her own money every single day. Sometimes on a good day, my daughter would make $300. If we had a client hair to do, we were charging $200 for some braids like length, waist length, back length. That's $100 a piece. We split the money. Then she making money from the door. That's $200. Then on top of the bake sales, that's $3. So it's like, you left all of this. You left your car. You left your businesses. You left to come down here. Come to find out, she's been down there for 2 whole months. This is where she's been this whole time, in here hiding out. My daughter smelled like piss, oil, and shit, y'all. Her hair was stank. Her body odor was stank. She was stank, musky. Her clothes was dirty. This lady ain't telling my daughter about no hygienes, ain't telling my daughter how to keep. But she went to New Orleans and left my daughter in her home, in her apartment for a week with her children. And my daughter enjoyed every minute of it because she had niggas over there. She had little boys over there. She could do what she wanted to do. And she couldn't do that at my house. She couldn't do that at my house. Because the first nigga she brought in my house, my gang stalking ass neighbor would have came and told me, and she knew that because the other time, my daughter literally, Mom, you never go out. You never go out and do anything. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm a mom. That's what moms do, She's like, no, Mom, you really deserve to go out. You really deserve to go out, blah, 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 blah. I'll watch the kids, Mom. Da, da, da. I said, no, I don't want you watching my kids. Mom, I can do it, I'm sure. I'm like, she's like, Mom, you deserve it. Like, she really talked me into it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to something light. It started at 6 and it ended at 9. And I was home by 9:30. Get home at 9:30. My gang stalking ass neighbor is literally circling the parking lot looking for me. I pull in my parking space. My gang stalking ass neighbor pulls behind me like she the fucking law around this bitch. And she's like, oh my God, where were you? I'm like, no. Let's start this all over again. You're not about to exit a grown ass woman where she's been at. Oh, because your daughter, she was outside, and I know that I looked outside and I didn't see your car, and she had long eyelashes and some little bitty shorts on. Y'all, my daughter put my babies to sleep, put my eyelashes on, put some little bitty shorts on, and went to the little boy house downstairs, child. And that's the only reason why she wanted me to go. It wasn't because I needed a break as a parent. It wasn't because none of that. It's always to benefit her and what she wants to do. Okay, fast forward back to the crazy bitch that's, And so she's just steady denying. So the police get there and they're like, oh, we finna take somebody to jail. And I made a dumb decision. And I regret it. And it's cost me to the point where I'm not making that dumb decision anymore. I am pressing charges on every last single one of you motherfuckers. And I'm pressing every last motherfucking button about my children. Okay? I made a decision She was just standing there holding her baby, and she has 4 other babies. And I was just like, man, they finna take her kids. Her kids finna go to CPS. She finna go to jail. And I just was, the police officer was like, okay, you was harboring a runaway, turn around. I was like, you know what? We can work it out. He was like, is you sure? Cause we finna take her ass to jail. I got called for this. I'm ready to cuff and stuff. Why, ma'am? Why are you taking people's children anyways? Like, and I'm like, you know what? We can work it out. It's a misunderstanding. We can. Worst fucking decision of my life, because they took that as I am a bitch and I am a coward. Okay. So my daughter was still like, okay, I don't want to come home with you. And I'm like, and this devil is like, just let her stay. She's okay. She's fine. You know where she's at. But she's my fucking daughter. And bitch, I don't want to deal with you. You buying her $5 shit off Amazon. You buying her, you know, the little bracelets off Amazon. She can buy that shit herself with her own money. So I just let it die down. Everything was heated. Me and her almost fought. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad, because bitch, you can meet me downstairs. You know what I'm saying? We finna handle this old school shit. We finna handle this, goddamn it. Oh, but as I was going downstairs, I'm like, this is what my daughter wants. And she's gonna sit back and she's gonna fucking laugh. So I'm like, you know what? You know, I'm gonna just let everything cool down. Like, literally, I told that bitch, meet me downstairs. Come on downstairs, you ugly bitch. Like, come on. You know, I let you off the hook with the police, but I want you on the motherfucking hook with me. So, you know, she yelled a few things, and I'm like, I'm done talking. I don't want to talk. Either you're going to come downstairs or we're going to fight. But one spirit was like, this is what your daughter wants. This is what and she's laughing now, you know. So I'm like, okay. I went home. You know, the young ladies, they was like, man, this is so fucked up. This is some freaky ass shit. I never seen no shit like this before in my life. And they was explaining to me that my daughter was jealous of me. She was envious of me. And, you know, I needed to find somewhere else for my daughter to stay because it was going to be dangerous for her to be living with me. So the next day I went down there and I'm like, okay, everything is calm now. We can pretty much talk about everything. And I'm like, my daughter needs to come home. I do not want to deal with you. And she's like, well, your daughter has accepted me as like her auntie. And I'm like, but bitch, I have not accepted you as anything in my life. And I don't want you in my life. And she's like, well, I won't ask you for any money or anything like that. And I'm like, bitch, you don't understand. See, I'm like, oh. And she's like, this is literally what she did. I put my Bible over there, y'all. Goodness gracious. This devil literally had an open Bible on her table in the middle of her living room. And she's like, see, I believe in God. I got the Bible right here. The Bible is right here. I read the Bible every day. If you read the Bible every fucking day, why would you steal somebody's child that does not belong to you? Where in the Bible does it say, thou steal thy neighbor's child? What scripture is that in? Since you want to go by the Bible, and you want me to trust you based off of because you read the fucking Bible. No, she has an open Bible. I say, yeah, I'm literally living in a community full of fucking psychopaths that they feel like what they say makes sense. That makes absolutely no sense. You want me to trust you after you done had my child for 2 fucking months because you got an open fucking Bible on your fucking dining room table? Y'all, when I tell y'all the patience that I have it's like, because these people wanted me to go to jail. Like, I'm literally, if I would have fell for all these goddamn traps, I would have been doing life. But I'm not. I'm sitting here to tell my testimony. So Um, because I decided to take the narrow road, the highway, you know. And I just knew that all of them was crazy and delusional, but they was trying to paint that I'm crazy and I'm delusional. And you know, she was like, well, she says she doesn't want to come home because she's in fear of you. She in fear of what? And I'm gonna play some fucking gospel music and mind my bit and cook some fucking food? That's what she in fear of? That's what she in fear of. Then I'm gonna play some gospel music. Because when you met me, that's what I was doing, playing gospel music and doing nails and doing lashes and going to work and minding my fucking business and taking care of my kids. So what? I don't, please help me register this. Y'all, I told her, I do not want to deal with you. I'm not dealing with you. My daughter is coming home and she's coming home right fucking now, or I'm going to call the laws, and this time I'm going to tell them to take your ass to jail. So she was like, okay, you got to go. You got to be with your mama. No. My daughter came home and she was like possessed. The first thing she did, I took a spiritual bath. I was in the bath. I was worshiping. I was praising God for my daughter being home. And I was in there for like an hour just blasting my church music, praying over myself, praying over my daughter, praying over our situation. And it's like, once I came out the bathroom, she was like, okay, everything set, ready to go. She was literally in my room, in my bedroom with my bank card, ordering her a purse off a line. I was like, you got to be, like, I bust out laughing. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. I know what you're trying to do and it's not going to work. You want me to get pissed off and you want me to bust your fucking shit open to the white meat so you can put me in jail, and I'm not doing it. Because I have a lot to live for. God got a big calling on my life. God wants me to do great things in this world, and I'm going to do what he wants me to do. And I got my other two beautiful children in there who need their mama, and they deserve their mama. You won't do this to me. I took my credit card from her. I voided the charges, got my money back. So the next day, I go downstairs to take the trash. I come back up. She done took my $100 bottle of perfume. She's spraying it in the air. So I go in my room. My perfume. I'm like, why you came here spraying my perfume? I ain't spray nothing. I ain't do nothing. I didn't do that. So I'm like, okay, here we go again. Another episode. Pay it no mind. It's good. It's fine. So by this time, like, every time she would get out to take the trash or something like that, she would just tell strangers, like, oh, my mom is abusing me. My mom is abusing me. And they would just be like, who? They used to call me Beyonce. They're like, who, Beyonce? Because these people didn't know me, but they respected me. Based off how I carried myself, based off how I respected myself, based on how good my children looked. So they like, who, Beyonce? Girl, if you don't take your ass home, like, nobody was believing her. So she had to go back. She had to do spell work and more black magic and find another victim. So she found another victim, y'all. This victim right here. Oh, I gotta crack my bones and my fucking neck for this victim, because this was the ultimate. This was just like, oh, mind you, I found a love letter. I found the love letter, yeah, that you wrote to the crazy bitch down the hall. She was like, I said that I love you, and when I say I love you, that means I love you, and I accept your kids, and I love your kids. That's a love note. God revealed to me these women were sleeping with my daughter. So she finds another victim. Somebody got down this goddamn hall. Right down the hall. And This time when she ran away, y'all, I ain't even gonna lie, I did not give two fucks. When I tell y'all I was tired of fucking CPS, DPS, this person, that person, this person, da 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 da. I say, you know what? Fuck all y'all. I'm finna keep on. You know, at first I went through the same. I went through the motion of running around looking for her, posting her picture everywhere, doing this, doing that, crying. When I realized she was laughing at me, I let it go. I realized where she was. I went and talked to the lady, and she was like, oh, she said that you don't want her there. And I'm like, so why didn't you come talk to me? Why didn't you come talk to me? Because you smoking with my daughter, because you fucking my daughter, because you drinking with my daughter, because you allowing her to have other men come in here and fuck her and get money and put in your pocket. That's why. That is human trafficking a minor. That's why you didn't come talk to me like a woman and tell me where my child is. You just believed her that I didn't want her home. I said, you know what? I'm done with all you crazy bitches. I'm done with all you crazy bitches. And I'm going to give y'all crazy bitches what y'all want. Because I called the police numerous of times. They bring my daughter home. My daughter literally, she got so fucking cocky, so fucking bold. She would literally watch out the blinds and watch the police leave and walk right back out the fucking front door and let that bitch slam, bam. So I'm like, okay. I had enough. This was the straw right here. Called the police again, got her to come home. Now their stories are matching. This young lady is now, which, you know, she's telling the police, yeah, her mom doesn't want her. So the police are looking at me like, well, they're saying that you don't want her. And I'm like, and they're a bunch of fucking criminals. If you check my record, I don't have one. If you check her record, I bet she's been to jail about 3 or 4 times. So who you gonna believe, a fucking criminal or someone that doesn't have a record? Who are you gonna, if I told the police, if I didn't want my daughter, come on, because y'all supposed to be smart now. If I didn't want my daughter, why are you two standing here? Because they sent 2 police this time. So I'm like, why are you two standing here if I don't want my daughter? Why did I call you to retrieve my daughter if I don't want my daughter? Come on, come on. I want y'all to make it make sense because y'all got the badges. Of course, she's gonna say, I don't want my daughter. She's harboring a runaway. So they have came up with this plan. Every time the police come, we're just gonna tell the police that your mom said she didn't want you. And I'm like, come on, make it make sense. If I didn't want my daughter, why would I call you to get my daughter? And they both looking at each other like, And then my daughter tries to run from the police after they're like, you know, they bring her down there to question her in front of me. She literally tried to run from the police and they detained her ass and took her to get Baker acted again. Had to go down there. They called CPS again, or whatever, DCF, whatever the fuck it's called. I had to deal with them again. So now they in my life telling me what to do, and I told them who to screw and what they can screw. I say, listen here, let me tell you one thing. All these sick ass people out here that's human trafficking their children, that's what y'all need to look into. Y'all need to leave me the fuck alone. I'm not finna do nothing but be a good parent to these other 2 children because they don't deserve this shit. I am not doing any fucking thing that you ask me, but what the fuck you can do is investigate. This woman got the nerve to be calling CPS or DPS on me. I went down there to talk to her, and she's smoking a fat ass joint with a 6-month-old baby in her fucking hand, standing there with no fucking shoes on, with a bonnet on. Are you kidding me? So at this point, I knew that my daughter had put a dark spell on the community, and she had the police enforcement was involved. They knew exactly what was going on. They knew exactly what was going on. Probably got their dick sucked a few times by, either one of those two. Um, Cause they wasn't trying to hear nothing I had to say, but they couldn't do nothing to me because they knew that they was lying. So I feel like the police was working with them, and the police was like, you really gotta get her to fuck up. You gotta get her to gaslight. You gotta get her to fight one of you guys. So at this time, got my daughter back, and like I said, whenever they offer something, it's never nice. So I'm in my room, I'm relaxing, and she's like, "Oh, mom, I want to spend some time with you. Let's watch a movie." And I'm like, "Okay." So she's like, "Oh, you want me to fix you some hot tea?" And I'm like, "Sure, you can fix me some hot tea." She fixed me some hot tea. All of a sudden, I started feeling dizzy. All of a sudden, my head started hurting. All of a sudden, I couldn't hold my head. I couldn't do anything. I had to go get in my bed. I instantly knocked out. So basically, my daughter poisoned me. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my body was still like heavy, and I really couldn't move. But it sounded like people was talking in my home, and that's when I just grew to strength, and I got up and I went to my front door, and she was gone again. And she left my front door wide the fuck open. And I believe my spiritual team was telling me that the plan was for some men to come in there and rape me, film me being raped, and steal my two smaller children. That was the original plan. I was broken. Like I said, God got me up. Before they got there, I was able to close and lock my door and make sure me and my children were secure. When God told me the plan, I put a dresser behind my front door, and God was like, she even has the police. Like, the police at this point isn't even believing you, and the police isn't even helping you. So it's dangerous at this point. And I just continued to live my life. I began to be just happier, just lighter. And God told me, whatever you do, don't fight this lady, because she's trying to provoke you so that she can stab you. And she's going to say it's self-defense. Your daughter is going to, justify that it was self-defense. Your daughter is going to testify that you was aggressive, you was abusive to her, and this lady was saving her from you. So whatever you do not fight this lady. She's going to stab you. So every day I got off work, she was GSing me. She would be out there. When I get off work, she would just be sitting on the steps like a demon. She would always have a hoodie on her head. And she just wanted me so bad to say something to her about her having my daughter. And I just didn't say anything at all. I let them have their way. At one point, I did go and take my daughter some money and some food. And I was just like, I don't understand why it has to be this way. I did have the young lady's phone number, and I text her, and I'm like, can you tell my daughter I love her? I don't know what else she wants me to do. And my daughter started prostituting. I went out my front door to go to work. Five young men at the front door, ready to knocking. They opened the door. 5 niggas went in there to run a train on her and her friend. I got my kids in the car, took them to daycare, went to work, steady just trying to function like a normal mom, like a normal adult. One day my children were on the front porch, and this is what they do. When I say, you know what, enough is enough, I give up, I wash my hands, and I move on, and they see how happy I am, that I'm not entertaining their bullshit, they say, oh no, we have to attack her If it's my daughter you want, I gave you my daughter. So now what's the problem? I'm no longer supposedly abusing her. I'm no longer supposedly beating on her, mistreating her, or abusing her. So now why every time I come out, why every time I get off work you're out here? Just why? I said, what is it that you want? All of the new clothes that I brought her? Here, you can have them. I gave her the new clothes. So the police isn't doing nothing. The police can't make her stay. I can't chain her to a fucking bed. That's gonna be abuse. So my kids are outside playing in the front of the door area, and then all of a sudden I don't hear my kids no more. I go outside, my two little ones, they're gone. Oh, so now we got a big ass problem. So I'm banging on everybody's door that I know that, because she was working with 3 different women out there prostituting. And these 3 women had children, had girls the same age as mine, and they were okay with their daughters prostituting. As long as they gave them a little piece of change. And I already know that had been a generational curse on my family, because my mother let my 15-year-old sister go with a grown man. He just broke her off a little something, a little piece of change. And I said, no, when I become a parent, that is not flying with me, and I kept that. And so I'm banging on everybody's door. I get to the last person door where she hangs out, smoke, prostitute at, and my kids are there. So I just grab my kids, go home. I immediately give them a bath, wash all these spirits off them, wash them a field. I pray over them. I anoint them. I just thank God I got my kids back. So we get in the bed that night after dinner and we get ready to pray. And my daughter is like, oh, God, I forgive my sister. She kidnapped us and she made us smoke. Y'all, I ain't even gonna lie. I lost it. I lost it because they would not fucking stop. I went to everywhere that I thought she was. Y'all, I grabbed the biggest fucking stick. I was beating on that motherfucking door like, bam, bam. And I'm like, cause you did what? You made my kids smoke what? So the one lady, she come out, she like, oh, you a crazy ass bitch. I say, bitch, you ain't seen motherfucking crazy yet, bitch. Take another step, I will crack your shit. Cause it's on now. Cause I'm steady giving y'all bitches what y'all want and y'all steady not fucking. Then the other lady who my daughter was going to and prostituting, she hit me up out of the fucking clear blue talking about, oh, your daughter's been, all of them was trying to extortion me for money. Oh, your daughter be at my house. She's not supposed to be at your house. What's your address, bitch, so I could send the police? I would let them speak though. She's like, oh, your daughter be at my house and you know bills is due. So I'm gonna need about $50 for your daughter being over here. Bitch, my daughter ain't supposed to be over at your house. So why do you feel like I need to pay your fucking bills, hoe? This is what all 3 of these bitches said, the same fucking thing. Like I said, if delusional was delusional, it was these motherfucking demons. Literally, I don't know where my daughter is, and you call me and say, oh, your daughter's been here, and she done ran up a tab, and we need you to pay it. Y'all motherfuckers think y'all gonna extort me? Y'all think y'all gonna motherfucking take my hard-earned money that I work for? I make an honest living. On her bad days, on her days where she go out there and prostitute and she don't make the cut, they thought they was gonna get the cut from me. No, bitch, you gonna get cut. So I had to, and they do it so effortlessly because, you know, they got the whole community in on it. They got the police believing them. She had everybody fooled except the school system. The school was like, no, we know her. We not falling for that shit or whatever. But the only reason she had these other women fooled is because they thought that I was better than them because I wasn't involving myself in their fucking freak show. Y'all letting y'all daughters prostitutes themselves because y'all are crackheads. These women were on crack, coke, pills, and alcohol. And this is why they felt bad for not being able to be the mother that they should be, so they let their children indulge and engage in fucking sexual activities. I said, I didn't know my daughter was at your house, so why do you feel like I owe you money? No, send her home. Click. I would get these calls about once a week from different bitches out there. Yo, daughter, been at my house for a week and my bills is due. What the fuck that got to do with me? Oh, well, she said you don't want her at home. Okay, so if I said that, why didn't you come to me 2 weeks ago and tell me my daughter was there? Why are you, now that you are in need of your fucking bill being paid, you're reaching out to me? Just why? This is what they was trying to do, y'all. They was trying to run your girl, child. They was trying to pull but I was listening to Spirit and being obedient and keeping my cool, y'all. I'm so proud of myself because I don't know anyone that can survive under these type of pressures or these type of circumstances. I know all y'all gonna be in the conversation like, bitch, I would be under the jail. The other two children would have been coming to see me up underneath that. But you know, like I said, a lot of parents, they did not make it out of these situations. And so I was working with the front office. I was letting the front office know that, like, hey, it's a human trafficking sex ring going on, which they suspected it because they saw the other girl that my daughter was running with. They literally caught her on camera giving a blowjob. They caught these girls smoking, giving blowjobs, you know. And then when they caught them out there, they took it to the corner store, you know. So, like, in the community, they would just, you know, sex on boys their age, but, you know, they eventually migrated to the corner store, which they began to sleep with grown men. So, once my daughter poisoned me and everything like that, I said, you know what? God said, no, do you know what? God said, okay, keep on. You need to let it go. Or she gonna send your ass to the lid. Okay? God told me to wash my hands, be done with it, and do not fight her because she's trying to stab me. So that's what I did. I avoided these people at all costs. Anything I could do, I avoided them. I just went to work, came home, and they would still be right there at the stairs. Like, she knew what time I got off work, and she would literally be outside on the stairs, like, waiting for me just to say something to her so she could stab me, or waiting for me to just punch her in the fucking face so she could stab me. And then they were all gonna say that it was self-defense. They were all gonna say, you know, blah 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 blah, and they was gonna use that I was abusive mom as an excuse to justify, you know, their plans, right? But like I said, I was obedient to God, and it got so bad to the point was like, you know, since you're not doing anything, they're not provoking you anymore. Because after she, you know, kidnapped my kids and made them smoke, and I ran, and they seen how crazy I was. Guess what they did? Called the fucking police on my ass. And God said, see, I'm showing you, you cannot do it. You cannot stoop that. So the police is like, oh, so you're running around with sticks trying to hit people, and we're gonna go and look at the camera footage and da da. I'm like, she prostitutes her fucking daughter for pills and alcohol. And I have done all that I can to protect my children from wicked shit like this. And you're telling, I was like, okay, go look at the camera, and they never got back with me. So, because my daughter did that to me, when I did find her, I ended up knocking on the right door, and I found my daughter, and she had her phone in her hand, and I snatched her motherfucking phone, and I went home, and she was like, I worked so hard to get that phone. I worked so hard. I went home, closed my motherfucking door, honey. She was crying about that phone. Next thing you know, the other bitch, the crazy bitch down the hall called the police on me because I took the phone from my daughter, and she bought the phone from my daughter. And the police was literally bamming on my fucking door, about to kick that bitch down. And I was in there eating me some chips, like, y'all gonna have to kick that motherfucker in then. Because I'm keeping this motherfucking raggedy. And the phone was so fucking stank. I said, I'm keeping this raggedy ass phone. So the next day, my leasing office contacted me. She done went to the motherfucking leasing office, y'all, and told them that I stole the phone that belongs to her. And they're like, well, if you have somebody else's property, we're gonna get law enforcement involved. I said, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But every time I get law enforcement involved, they don't do, and God was like, this is the witchcraft that they're doing. They've done witchcraft on the justice system. They have, to get the justice system in their favor, but the justice system didn't work in their favor. It worked in mine. They're doing witchcraft on people in the community to get them to go with them, which was fine. God had me covered. They're doing witchcraft on the police system, which is, again, the justice system again. So God was just like, my leasing office sitting up here telling the one that works, I work. I had paid my rent up for a whole fucking year. Minding my business, doing my businesses that I had started. So these people tell me I'm gonna have to get back the phone or they're gonna have me arrested for stolen property. I'm like, so y'all don't want y'all jobs? They're like, where did that come from? I said, I guarantee you, you won't have this job come next year. I promise you. So I'm gonna give the phone back, but you won't be getting this job back. Nobody from this situation resides in that office. Okay? So I'll go ahead, mind my business. Even after she made them smoke and all that happened, I called, DCF for myself. Because I knew that they were gonna call, so I called DCF and I let them know that I wanted my kids tested. I don't know what she made them smoke. My kids literally told them that my daughter abused them, my daughter kidnapped them, and my daughter made them smoke. And this opened a investigation on the front office, and they opened up an investigation with human trafficking children, which again worked out in my favor. So I'm like, okay, now they have an open investigation. They're gonna start investigating these mothers that are fucking prostituting their daughters, and this is who my daughter is choosing to be with over me, because I am choosing to do things the right way. I'm the cornball, I'm the corny one, I'm the laughing stock of the town. I'm, these humiliation rituals and things like that. So I'm like, okay. So, you know, like I said, I gave her money, I gave her food, I gave her clothes, you know, and it wasn't good enough. The friend was still trying to stab me, and then they went and they made more plans to do a home invasion and, you know, make it seem like I was the prostitute and I got home invaded for having all these, you know, because at this time the front office was being investigated, so they was working with the bad mothers because they were being investigated as well, because my leasing office started getting investigated because they caught these minors prostituting on camera and did nothing. They was just like, we don't want to see y'all out in the community no more. That's not how you handle that. So because they were being investigated based off of what I said, you know, they was going against me. So they was being investigated, whatever. So they got mad about that. Excuse me. And they planned a home invasion. And so God was like, you know what? This is their plans. They plan on kicking in your door, doing this, doing that to you. So just go ahead and leave. You're going to be safe. You're going to be good. You're going to be fine. And that's what I did. And this is the very thing that her dad had me do. It's like she came in and did the same thing that her dad did. When he did what he did, when he tried to kill me, I had to leave my home, leave everything that I owned, all my furniture, all my clothes, all my shoes, my kids' toys, their bikes, their four-wheelers, their powers. We had to leave all of that to start over. And now here it is again. My daughter is doing what her dad did to me. So I was like, okay. That's what I did. I packed up. I left. I let them prostitute in peace. My daughter was living her best life. She was prostituting. She was doing drugs. She was living her best life. You know, and I let it go. I let it go. Snuck out right up underneath their nose. Let them have it. So they realized that I had snuck off, and they were so fucking pissed. So she contacts me, and she's like, oh, I have been trying to reach out to you. Reach out to me for what? You stole my daughter, and my daughter wants to be with you. Reach out to me for what? When I'm telling you, these people just have a body, but they are demon possessed. They are full of nothing but hell, and then they're so delusional. It's like they get wrapped up in their own games. Like, she literally checked my Instagram and saw that, baby, me and my kids was living our best life. Looked like we was on vacation. And now she wants to, because your plan didn't work. So I've been trying to reach out to you regarding your daughter and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so I had to reach out to your family. I had to reach out to your mom or anyone that I can to get a contact with you. I told her, listen, I was never playing the game with you and my daughter, and I'm not playing the game with you and my daughter. I said, whatever you want for me will be for you. Whatever you want for me will be for you. Because I'm not playing this sick, stupid, twisted ass game with you. And I left it like that. They didn't contact me no more. I left it like that. And about, I would say 4 months later, I get a text from, a random woman saying that she has my daughter. So I immediately, contact this lady back, because it's not the bitch, the crazy bitch that lived down the hall that my daughter ran off with and was prostituting with, right? So I called this lady and she's like, yeah, I know you don't know me, but the lady who she ran away with just dropped her off at my house in the middle of the night because she was like, you need to sit down. I need to tell you. It's a lot that I have to tell you. And so I sit down and she's like, you know, your daughter and the lady she was with, she calls her. Everybody knows that this was my daughter's pimp. They call her my daughter's owner. She's like, your daughter's owner, you know, they was all drinking and smoking, and the girl stabbed the other girl that they was drinking with to death. So immediately Spirit was like, see, didn't we tell you? You know, that spirit that she conjured up, she wanted to stab you so much, it stayed with her. She ended up stabbing somebody. You took my daughter away from me, and now you're going to be taken away from your daughter for life. Right? So, but they don't understand that. So she's like, yeah, your daughter was, you know, prostituting with her. Your daughter was going to clubs with her. She had gotten your daughter a fake ID so that she could get in the club. Mind you, my daughter is, at this time, she's 16. She had been with this woman for about a year or two. I let it go. That's how bad I let it go. And I had no help, nobody supporting me, nobody listening to what I say, nobody believing me. So once she did what she did, you know, because this lady, like I said, alcoholic, pill popping, snorting, prostitute, it all came crashing down. So I listened to Spirit. Spirit was like, do not jump on this. Just give it some time. So I asked the lady, you know, how long do you think you could keep my daughter, you know, with you, just until I sort out some things. You know, I'm you know, my daughter, even if I wanted to stay in my apartment complex, they told me, because my daughter is being investigated in human trafficking, they wasn't going to renew my lease with them. So she got me put out of my apartment. And so I was like, you know, I had to relocate. And by the way, I was where I needed to be. I just had to feel, you know, my way through my daughter's situation and listen to Spirit. So Spirit was like, you know, ask her how long. And she was like, you know, your daughter is, you know, she is welcome to stay here. I don't have a problem with her staying here. She said I could get her a job. She was like, you know, just send me her birth certificate and her social security card. I can get her a job. I can get her enrolled in school, you know. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I sent my daughter's birth certificate, her social security card. She was acting like, you know, she told me, oh, Mom, I've been doing all the things that you taught me. I've been doing hair and, you know, and I'm making good money doing hair. Oh, she's a good little girl now. She's done, you know, prostituting and, you know, no, you're only done because that magic backfired and your pimp ended up killing somebody. So I'm still, you know, I'm just taking it. I don't like, your own daughter tried to kill you. Your own daughter got you kicked out. Your own daughter tried to take your kids from you. And it's like, now she on the phone like nothing never happened. She on the phone like none of this shit never happened. And I'm just supposed to be open arms. Yes, baby, come on home. I love you. I'm like, we're going to take this slow. Prove to me that you can get the job. I sent the birth certificate. I sent the social security. So prove to me that you can get the job. Prove to me that you are going to get enrolled back in school. You're going to go to school, get good grades. Prove to me these things and I'll send for you. No problem. And the lady even agreed. The lady said that, girl, you did some real shit to your mama and I never even heard of no shit like this. Like, they was so scared and spooked. And the daughter was like, because she had a daughter the same age as my daughter. She was like, I knew she was crazy. I knew that bitch was crazy. If she come here, mom, I'm gonna fuck her ass up. And I was like, no, I don't think, like, you know, I'm hurt when it comes to, like, you know, wanting to unalive somebody or ruin somebody's life. Like, I'm her target. Like, none of you guys are her target. Like, I'm her trigger. Like, so you guys don't have to be worried or anything. And the lady was like, okay, you know, she can stay as long as she da-da-da-da. So I sent over the stuff, and my daughter has this thing, though. You will become her target, or you will become a trigger for her if you like me. So the lady took a liking to me, and my daughter turned around and robbed her of some jewelry. She tried to hide it and pawned it, and, you know, things like that. But by this time, my daughter was almost 18. So instead of my daughter she did contact me. She contacted me. She cussed me out. And I was like, whoa, where the fuck? I didn't know that she had left the lady's house, that we had made agreements to, or anything like that. Didn't know until the lady contacted me. And the lady was like, yeah, she left. And, you know, because the next step was I was going to start working with DCF to see if we can get her in a program that they was offering her. They was offering my daughter to be, I don't know what it's called, damn. Where you become your own parent, even though you're like 17 or something like that. And they were going to give her her own housing, help her get a job. She didn't want to do that. And I'm like, why don't you want to do that? She was like, I don't want to stay in a shelter. I don't want to go to a shelter. Because the processing, she would have to, you know, she would have to go to a shelter, and then they would place her in her own home, then they would help her with. She didn't, so she ran away from there. Ran back to the old community where she was prostituting at, where I used to stay at, with the other crazy bitch that was living down the hall, that was prostituting her child out. So she called me, cussed me out like a dog out the blue. I didn't know none of this was going on, but I knew, you know, when things aren't right in her life, that's what she do. So I just hung up the phone and blocked her. And I'm like, when she cool down, she'll contact me, and, you know, we'll figure out what's going on, you know. But the lady, I contacted her, and I'm like, what's going on with her? What's going on with my daughter? Like, she just called me, she cussed me out. She's like, yeah, I couldn't take it no more. You sent over everything for your daughter. She don't want to work. She don't want to get no job. She stole from me. And she didn't want to go through with the process of, you know, what we was discussing. Because me and the lady was discussing, you know, getting her into that program, because she has a cousin that works for DCF or whatever. And so she was like, yeah, I couldn't do it no more. She had everything lined up as far as what you did and as far as what I did, and she just didn't want to do right. So I didn't know where my daughter was. And so I'm like, okay, here we go again. And I'm like, you cannot stop living your life every time your daughter does this. And this is what she wants you to do. She wants you to stop living your life. She wants you to not be obedient to God. She wants you to not do what you're supposed to do and focus on running behind her and chasing behind her and trying to figure out where she's at and what she's doing and who she's. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I took her number at the time off block, and I'm like, okay, maybe she's cooled down by now, that I know she's not there, but I don't know where she's at. Maybe she'll contact me again, and we can go from there or whatever. With my daughter in these episodes, I never try to force myself on her, because she'll tell me real quick, bitch. You know, so I never try to force myself on her. I would wait till she contacts me, because then she's more at a level-headed mind as to, you know, what she wants and, you know, how she talks to me and things like that. So You know, she can't go back to her owner, which was her pimp. Her pimp is now on the run for murder, lost her home, her daughter, everything. Um, so she went back to my old neighborhood where they were still prostituting their daughters, and but she didn't contact me. Oh yes, she did, but I didn't know she was there. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? It was kind of weird. I didn't know she was there at the time when she contacted me. She cussed me out. She demanded to know my address and where I was, and I was like, no, crazy bitch. You the real crazy one. I'm not. And so I didn't hear no more from my daughter. I didn't hear no more from her. But I just kept going. I kept pouring into myself. I kept working hard. I kept pouring into my children, even though I had businesses. I had established relationships. I was doing good where I was. I had 2 vehicles. I had been doing good ever since I had left my hometown and got away from all these rotten ass snakes that God had told me to get away from. And even though I was in another snake pit, I was still able to listen to God's voice and save my life or whatever. And so, back on my feet, back doing good, back minding my business. And I'm posting pictures of me and my kids, you know, just minding my business, post pictures of me and my kids. And all of a sudden, this man, he commented underneath my post and he was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. And then all of a sudden, this other person commented under my picture and was like, oh, this is somebody that abandons their child. So now we done went from abusive, I was abusive, now I abandon. So I was like, that's strange. Don't know this person, don't know where my daughter is, don't know what's going on. I just hit delete, went on about my business, y'all. I'm like, living my best life. So I do it again. I post another picture or whatever, and they do it again. They get up underneath my comments, and any man that's talking to me, they're talking to this man. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This is weird. But I don't recognize the first name, but I recognize the last name. And I'm like, fucking Wilson. I know some Wilsons that a friend of me. Now, mind you, in counseling, I had told my daughter that these 2 Pacific friends back home was enemies. They was ops. I told her that God told me to get away from them. And I told these enemies to their face personally. As soon as God told me to cut them off, I told them, you have now been blocked from my life. I sent them this message. I sent it to my sister-in-law, and I sent it to this frenemy. Both of them, explaining to them that they were all blocked from my life. So let's fast forward 7 years later. Have not spoken to these people. God told me not to speak to these people. Do not attach myself to these people. So I'm living my best life. But every time I post a picture, this Wilson person comments under my post. I'm like, I don't even want to I don't even want to think about nothing of it. Delete. Keep going on with my blase, squazzle. So out of the blue, I get a message. And I'm like, I didn't see it until I think a day later, because I don't have Messenger on my phone. So I didn't see it until a day later, right? And it's Miss Wilson, this friend of me from 7 years ago that I blocked out of my life, my world, because she was doing witchcraft on me. She left her bloody pad in my home. Just weird stuff would happen when I was around this girl. She invited me to a birthday party. The only reason she used to invite me places because I was the only one with a car. And so we went to this birthday party. And as we were going down the road, this big, long ass fucking python, y'all, it's just slithering across the road. I ran over that motherfucker. I backed up, ran over that motherfucker again, backed up, ran over that, till he was nothing more to run over. Weird stuff like this. My car be driving like a spaceship. It'll be driving like a 2030. She get in that bitch, whole car shut down. Shit like this was going on. You get what I'm saying? She was trying to control me, bully me. I remember one time I was like, I was on the way. She called me. I just got off of work. This is the weird stuff that used to happen with Miss Wilson. I had just got off of work and she called me and she was like, what you doing? I was like, just got off. She was like, oh, I'm bored at the house. Come pick me up. I was like, okay, bet. Get off the phone with her. Get in a car wreck. But you know, God got me. He always do. So I got in a car wreck. But by, 3 hours later, I had me a brand new rental car. You get what I'm saying? And so I pulled up, baby. They didn't like how I pulled up. She was mad. She was upset. Oh, she had so many problems and this and that and the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. I was, at that time, I was being mentored. I was in a mentorship that I signed up for and everything like that. And they told me they was basically paying for my rent, and I had to go to certain classes and do certain things, just like computer skills, teaching you how to type and things like that. And then we would have devotion. We would have people would come and pray with us and things like that. But the rules was I could not have company after 12. Nobody could spend a night with me in my apartment. Nice 2-bedroom apartment, brand new appliances, beautiful home, beautiful community. And I explained this to Miss Wilson, and this is what these gang stalkers do. This is what these people in these secret societies do. They got to make your ass homeless, because then you fit the narrative, and then you're more vulnerable to go back to them. You're more vulnerable to do what the fuck they want you to do and be who the fuck they want you to be. And you'll be at a lower vibration, and they'll be able to control you through magic, through witchcraft. So I explained to her, you can come over and chill, but I cannot, you can't stay the night and you can't wash your clothes. Those were the 2 rules. Nobody could spend the night and nobody could come over and wash clothes. And these people watch these cameras thoroughly. So, one day she came over and her boyfriend at the time, he was downstairs in the car, and I was finding that strange. I'm like, is he gonna come up? And she was like, I don't know, I guess. She was always act like she didn't know what the fuck was going on or whatever. So I look out my window on my balcony, and this nigga downstairs selling drugs. I said, oh hell no, you need to get on the phone with him. You need to let him know he cannot do that shit out here. So she was like, I don't know, let me say to him, I don't know what. Oh, you don't know what to say? Hold on. I went downstairs. I'm like, excuse me, sir. You do know you cannot sell drugs out here. You do know that, right? They could have met you across the street. They could have met you down the road. Why are you choosing to do that out here in my apartment complex? Baby, when I tell you 2 days later, eviction notice. They wasn't playing. Because it's people, it's women that really want that opportunity and need that opportunity. And I needed that opportunity, and I was not playing around with it. I was at every meeting that I was supposed to go to. I did everything that I was supposed to. And these people, these snakes slithered right in and fucked that up for me. But at the time, I had 3 mentors. And my other mentor made sure I had another apartment to go to. So I just lost that apartment, but I had another apartment to go to. But it was not in a good community. It was not in a safe space. It was not in a safe place. It was like a downgrade. Grade, down. I was like, God, keep these people away from me. Oh my God. It's like the more I prayed these people out of my life, it's like the more they popped up. And I said pop, and then look how the damn camera. The more I prayed these people away, the more they popped up. Right? So I was able to get away from these people when I moved from my hometown. Right? So I was just giving you a bit of background on, this person, this friend of me that I left alone, right? So fast forward to now. This person, 7 years later, this person is commenting under mine. I'm like, but it's like under a different name, but the last name is familiar, Wilson. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, okay. Then that's when she messaged me, and she was like, do you have anything for your daughter? I'm speaking of a birth certificate or a social security card, because I guess she want to do something with her life. She was left in Houston and she's made it back down here. And I'm like, oh, she double texted me. She texted again and she was like, oh, we don't want to have to get DCF involved, so you need to do what I'm asking you to do. I said, oh, bitch, you know what? Get whoever you want to get. Get whoever you want to get, because what we not going to do, we not finna go down this road again. Get whoever you want to get, because that's all I told her. I said, get whoever you want to get. I know you're going to play these stupid ass little games with me, so let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Girl, I got my baby shoes, the first ones that she ever wore. What do you mean if I have anything for my daughter? I got every letter she ever wrote me. What are you talking about? I got every certificate, every picture. I still got her baby navel. I still got our hospital bands. What are you talking about? And this is, again, another crackhead, another alcoholic, another prostitute. This is why I didn't want to be friends with you. You got me kicked out. Right? I took it like a champ. And then my mother got me put out of my other house due to witchcraft. I let her come stay with me. I let my mom come stay with me while they approve her apartment and everything. And it's like, when my mama left, she did whatever she did in my house. I lost my job and I lost my home. But I had another place lined up. And that was the place that she got me kicked out of. So I was like, hey, can I stay with you for a few weeks until my apartment is ready? And she don't know if I can stay. It's her baby daddy house. I'm like, I'm supposed to be your friend. How you gonna say you don't know if I can stay? All you gotta do is ask the nigga, can I stay for a week till my apartment get ready? So she ended up asking the nigga damn near I had to ask him, because I just basically showed up because I helped my mom. I let my mom stay with me till her apartment was ready, and guess what? Couldn't stay with my mom until my apartment got ready. She told me I couldn't stay with her. So, because she didn't want to be responsible for getting my daughter to school. Because where my mom stayed at, no buses came, and I had a vehicle, so I could have drove my daughter to school. But my mom said, they always speak as if they're God. They always speak in parables, like they make shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing there, so they make shit up. So my mom said I couldn't stay with her for a week because she didn't want to be responsible for getting my daughter to school. And I'm like, how would you be responsible for getting my daughter to school? I have 2 fucking vehicles. That one of them you was just driving when you was living with me. They try to treat me as if I am so irresponsible because of the nasty, dirty, stinky, grimy shit that they do. They got to keep the focus on me. So I'm like, okay. And she's like, oh, why won't your friend, Miss Wilson, let you live with her? And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. She's like, cause she ain't your fucking friend. Now, anytime your mama tell you that, believe it. Even if your mama ain't your friend, she know another evil motherfucker when she see one, cause she an evil motherfucker herself. So I'm like, okay. So I damn near like bogarted my way. Cause I'm like, yeah, can I stay like for a week or whatever till my apartment gets ready? Oh, they treated me like trash. Her baby daddy tried to fuck me. He couldn't find her one night, so he came to my house and I was like, she's not here. And he was like, oh, well, I was wondering if I could come over here and drink with you. I was like, no, thank you. Like, basically, in nigga term, in street term, that mean, can I come over here and fuck you? I'm like, no, I don't get down with y'all fucking circle, because that's all they would do. She would show up at my house. We would be hanging and chilling, listening to music, drinking, and then she'll be like, oh, so-and-so is outside. He want to talk to me. And I'd be like, oh, okay. She go outside, and the car just pull off. She vanished like a fucking fart in the air. They would do stupid shit, whole shit like that. They would fuck each other. Her cousin fucking her baby daddy, and then she's still friends with her cousin. Her sister, best friend, is fucking her man, and then they still friends. And I'm like, and I literally asked them this, like, you know for a fact she fucked your boyfriend, so why are y'all still friends? Why are you still friends with her again? We not doing that. We not doing that. We didn't let things go. We let that go. How y'all let something go and she don't even know that you know she was fucked. Oh, cause you went and fucked her boy, and that's all they do. That's all they do. They find out that they bet that somebody fucking with them in the clique now. It's like 10 girls, and they all fucking each other niggas. They all fucking each other baby daddies, boyfriends, whatever you get, they on that shit. So I'm like, okay, as long as y'all don't come over here with that weird ass shit with me, because I don't fuck after y'all, don't suck after y'all, don't care to, don't choose to, don't want to, none of that. I don't want nothing that you had, nothing that you got, because I don't want, seriously, nothing that you got. So that's what they do. And they still be friends. They still act like nothing never happened. It's like they want to keep their enemies close so they can know who to mess with and da-da-da-da behind each other back, and that's all it is. So he treated me so bad. He would throw my stuff out. He told me I couldn't exercise at his house, and I couldn't bring like my bed. Even though I was gonna just be there at the most 2 weeks, I couldn't bring my bed. I had to sleep on the cold ass floor, y'all, just so I could, because they ended up moving 2 blocks over from where my house was. So my daughter's bus stop was right there. So I had to sleep on the cold fucking floor just to make sure my daughter got an education. This same daughter that I'm talking about right now. So yeah. So fast forward, got my apartment. She got me kicked out of that apartment. Got my other apartment, and I just tried my best to like stay away from them, and I did. I stayed away from them, and then I ended up moving out of the town, and God was like, don't ever reconnect with them again. So here it is, 7 years later, y'all. This lady texts me asking me about my daughter. But mind you, this is who has been bullying and taunting anybody that says anything nice to me under my pictures. This is who has been, and I'm like, and God is like, it's all making sense now. Instead of her contacting you like an adult, she chose to believe whatever your daughter told her, and she chose to get on social media and embarrass you. And that's the only reason why I'm making these videos and I'm speaking out, because it has gone too fucking far, to the point where they are getting on my social media and they're trying to blackmail me about lies when you know nothing, and when you have dirty ass, nasty ass skeletons in your own fucking closet, that I decided to be the bigger person and just leave these people alone like God told me to. But no, my daughter is like, you know what? I'm going to get you, bitch. I'm going to go back to your hometown and I'm going to tell everybody I know this, that you was a prostitute, you was prostituting me, you're crazy, you're deranged, you're this, you're that. And so I didn't know all this was going on, child. I was just living my best life, living for me and my other two children. And because her pimp is going to jail, she gonna go to my other ops, my old ops. So I'm like, man, this has got to be. I'm looking for the cameras again. Like this is a prank. Is this that old show like Punk or something like that? So true enough. And she only reached out to, she had my daughter for 2 whole months. Once again, painting the town red with all these lies. Everybody coming near and far to listen to my daughter talk about these. Wait, let me back up. Let me rewind. First, my niece drove to Houston. Now, mind you, all these people are my friends on social media. My niece, my brother. And they drove to Houston, picked my daughter up, and took her to my brother's house, where she, and the only reason why they helped my daughter is because she's a part of the coven. They're going to take care of their own. They're going to take care of their people. Because she was listening to them and doing what she was instructed to do, they went and saved her. Because when I fell homeless, I had to sleep on cold people floor. I had to go to a shelter. My family never took me in. But because she had did her part in trying to destroy me and trying to kill me and trying to slay me and betray me, she got a pass. They drove all the way to Houston, Texas, my niece, who was my friend on Facebook at the time, drove her to my brother's house. She was staying at my brother's house, y'all. Look at God. Look how good God is, right? Because basically what's happening is, they learning. They learning today. They learning today, right? So my daughter is staying with my brother and his wife, which my brother's wife tried to do spell work on me, has been doing spell work on me. Also tried to blackmail me one time, right? So I didn't know none of this. I didn't know any of this. That's why I said, let me rewind it. Because what ended up happening is, I don't know where to start, but okay, let me start there then. So what happened was, 2 months later, she did end up calling CPS on me, y'all. This bitch that I don't even know. I forgot she fucking even existed. But I told her to. Because I want them to investigate you, and I want them to investigate me. So when they showed up, I was like, oh, I was expecting y'all. What took y'all so long? And they was like, I was like, yeah, I was literally expecting you. Showed her the text on my phone. Call them. Get them involved. Please do. Because who the fuck do you think you are to threaten me, the real one, with your psychotic bullshit? When you don't even know the first thing about changing a fucking diaper. This is the same person that that thought she was going to live as me. She would steal my clothes and do witchcraft on me. I went and got a Grand Am Pontiac. She went and got a Grand Am Pontiac. I had four girls. She went and had 4 girls. I went and got a Jeep. She went and got a Jeep. I got misunderstood. I told her that I was going to get misunderstood tattooed on me. She went and got misunderstood tattooed on her first, like I still wasn't going to do it because I'm the originator. It was my idea. So you think because you stole my idea, I ain't going to do it? You crazy witch. Are you crazy? Yes, this person that I'm speaking with. Now, mind you, everybody fighting to be my handler. Everybody's fighting to take my mother's position, right? So I told the people what my daughter did, how she poisoned me, how she tried to kill me, how she made me lose my apartment, da-da-da-da. I told her that everybody that my daughter goes to, if you just investigate them, if you just type their little name in, and you will see they have criminal records. This one done been to jail for scamming, stealing dead people's social security, and filing taxes on dead people. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. So they're investigating her, they're investigating me. And so they're like, well, you should reach out to her, you should talk to her, at least get on one accord. And I'm like, what is the outcome? What can we do? And he was like, well, you can have your daughter come home, or you can sign over your rights. I'm like, where's the fucking paper? Where's the paper? I'm signing it over. She can have it because she thinks she's gonna have some type of connection with me because she was doing it anyways, right? I told her, get who she wanna get. You do not threaten me. You do not know me. And then I blocked her, right? So the CPS people involved, they gave me her phone number. I contacted her, which I will be uploading that video. I recorded the whole phone conversation. And I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. Like, I did not want to talk to this person because God told me not to. Don't mess with this person no more. At all. Right? Told me not to mess with my brother, my sister-in-law, her family, none of them. So she's telling me, I'm like, how in the hell did my daughter end up with you again now? Like, what? After I told her, my daughter ran away. Da-da-da-da-da. So that's why I told you I could call the police on you for you harboring a runaway, but I don't know your fucking address. I don't know shit about you. I don't even know where you fucking stay at no more. Don't give a fuck. And she on the phone. Y'all will hear the conversation. Oh, I got 3 girls now. No, bitch, I don't know that because I didn't even know that you still existed. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sign over my rights, blah, 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 blah. Her and my daughter called me back. And I answered the phone, and my daughter's like, so you gonna sign them papers? And I'm like, listen, when you gonna get it together? No, you the one need to get your shit together. You the one need to get your shit together. And I said, and you got your shit together? Because Miss Wilson told me that she found you walking down the street smoking a fucking Black and Mild. So what are you talking about? Get what together? When? And that's what she did. She took a deep... Because I told you, they was never my friends. So how are they going to be your friends? Anybody that doesn't like you don't like your child. So the only thing that y'all have in common is not liking me. And then they both started laughing like high school hyenas because my daughter said something else disrespectful. And I said, see, oh, Miss Wilson, you gonna let her disrespect me? No, I grabbed the phone from her. Girl, please. I hear both of y'all laughing. You know what? Both of y'all some slimes. Both of y'all is slime. That's what y'all is. I said, y'all want me so bad to come down there and go crazy and beat y'all asses so y'all can put me in jail and say that yes, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I say, you know what? Yes, I'm going to sign them papers. I'm going to sign them. Do not contact me no more. I don't want to talk to you no more. I'm not paying for prom. I'm not paying for homecoming. Contact your dad if you need any money. Do not contact me. Do not contact me for anything. I will not be associating myself with these people or affiliating myself with Miss Wilson at all. Period. Point blank. Do you understand me? And she was like, yeah, just sign the papers. And I'm like, okay. Done. She trying to act. She knows she wanted to come home so bad, but she knows how is that gonna work? Like, that's awkward. Okay. So I reached out to them. They sent me the papers. I signed and gave them right back to the immediately the same day. Now, after I made all that clear, why does Miss Wilson contact me again? Oh, can you write her a doctor's note? A doctor's note for what? For school. She's not even in school. She's not even in school. And the CPS worker told me that, but she just wants any little reason to contact your girl. Any little reason to talk to me. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't do the baby daddy with my baby daddy, and I'm not going to do the baby daddy with you. I've been gave them people. I've been signed them papers and gave them back to them people a week ago. Now, why they have not contacted you, let them do their research, baby, because they're doing their research and they're digging and they're finding out you a scammer. They finding out that you filed dead people. They finding out that you've been to jail. And I haven't. But let me rewind a little bit. When we was on the phone having what seemed to be a decent conversation, but it wasn't decent at all. It was more like her throwing shots when you can't throw any shots. Talking about some at this witch. This is what they do. She acted like I never told her she was blocked from my life 70 years ago. I literally got underneath my post I literally got up underneath her post and told her, you are blocked from my life. I told her that, her sister that, and my sister-in-law that, because they had all grouped up to be friends. And I said, oh, I see in the spirit what's going on here. All of y'all is blocked. 7 years ago. Now she on the phone. Oh, I don't know what happened to you. That thing with your baby daddy happened. They always got to bring up my dirt with my baby daddy. At least I left the nigga that hit me. You still with the nigga that go upside your head, okay? Let's get that all the way clear, okay? So, oh, that thing with your baby daddy, and then you left, and then it's like you fell off the face of the earth. I said, no, that is not what happened. I clearly told you 7 years ago that you were blocked from my life. But you're somebody that I used to call my sister. Well, I'm not, and I never will be. You was never a friend to me. This making her mad, y'all. You was never a friend to me. Yes, listen, I'm not going to go back and forth with you on what I know to be true.